Freedom of fucking speech is not fucking free. Jesus Christ. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ronald Williams, just chilling, man. And it's been one hell of a week. Dog, this whole entire week has felt like a cage match. It's been rough, all right? But with that being said, I'm here to talk about the demonetization of Fresh and Fit, all right? Now, Fresh and Fit to me is a channel I'm kind of like half and half on, meaning like I kind of half fuck with it and half don't. So, my opinion of it isn't exactly high or low. It's kind of like I'm meeting a neutral point. Now, personally, me, I ain't crazy about some of the stuff they did or had done, personally. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, from the perspective of a guy that doesn't have... Put it this way. There was once upon a time I didn't know the things that I know now. And I wish I had, you know, YouTube when I was younger. It would have helped me avoid a lot of shit. And I would rather motherfuckers receive some sort of, like, male advice instead of, like, receiving none of it at all and just be walking around blind and, you know, things happening to you based off the fact that you don't know anything. Now, the thing about, I wouldn't say Fresh and Fit specifically. I mean, like, men that speak a certain type of message, right? Because here's the thing. In my eyes, being a real man is being somewhat abrasive. Meaning, like, you can't realistically help a woman and tell her all the shit that makes her feel good at the same time. You're not going to be able to do both. It's not a real thing, all right? But with that being said, you know, you can only get so big with a certain type of message, right? If you had to ask me, I think it kind of trickles down from Kevin Samuels. Like, Kevin Samuels was a guy that was kind of talking the same type of pro-man shit, you know, try to tell niggas, you know, to get on the grind. Like, basically being kind of like somewhat of a spokesperson for, you know, I would say red pill or not red pill content. And this sun is in my fucking face and I hate when that happens. But, sorry I had to move my car. The sun's coming over the building. What was I saying? Alright, so I would, if you had to ask me, right, it kind of trickled down from Kevin Samuels, right? Trickled down from him. It was Kevin Samuels, then kind of Andrew Tate had it for a little while, then it's going to Fresh and Fit. Now, the kind of guys that speak up against the shit that's going on nowadays, like, you know, trying to figure out a way to word it. The weird shit that's going on, or just, you know, giving advice to a lot of men that, you know, helps, you know, progress them forward, telling them what type of women to watch out for, what to do on a date, what not to do on a date, like, you know, game shit. Like, you know, there's red pill, there's black pill, there's blue pill, there's a gang guy. Personally, I'm a gang guy. Like, I like the strategy of shit, which really, I don't live the single life so no more, so it doesn't necessarily apply. But any dealing that you have with a woman, you need to kind of know what you're doing. So the strategy still does apply. Like, you know, getting in a relationship doesn't mean that it stops. It actually increases because you're dealing with the motherfucker full time. Versus like when you're single, you deal with women in parts. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to listen to anybody or have to deal with anything. But when you're in a relationship, it's more so like you're a lot more involved. Now, again, when you say these type of things and you have this type of message and you stand on your square or you don't agree with, you know, what the masses agree with, chances are you're gonna either A, get demonetized, or B, something's gonna happen to you. And that's what happened to a lot of guys that was talking that mess. Because here's the thing, right? A lot of women's survival depends on men being stupid. Like, a lot of these girls cannot thrive if you know what the fuck is going on. Meaning, like, for instance, you're on a first date and a girl tells you some shit like, oh, I haven't ate all day. The average dude that don't know no better would be like, oh, let me get you something to eat, let me get you some food. But a motherfucker that knows better knows that she probably runs this game on 5 or 6 other dudes. Shit like that. Like, motherfuckers don't want you to know shit like that. And that's like a small piece of it. Like, motherfuckers don't want you to know your way around a divorce contract. Not a divorce contract, but a marriage contract. What type of man you should be inside a marriage. Like, what's another one? Motherfuckers don't want you to not pay girls' bills. Like, okay, not saying women can't work, but man's strategy is like anti-woman strategy in a way. And I mean, when I say anti-woman strategy, I mean like these hoes can't get over on you if you know what the fuck is going on. And the thing about it is, when you preach a message like that, when you tell men what the fuck is really up, and they start exercising the options and understanding what the fuck is going on and looking at the surroundings and paying attention to shit, your average girl don't like that type of shit. So what happens is that motherfuckers send cease and desist. They send, you know, all this other shit out, try to cancel you and all this other bullshit, right? They don't really want you talking like that for real. Now, granted, the thing I like the most currently is that there's a lot more man channels popping up, meaning like stuff that is good for guys. Like, it's not necessarily, trying to figure out a way to word it. It's not just a one direction, a one size fits all. Like, there's a place for everybody in it. You know what I mean? So, which means when you go about your dating life, that you don't have to sit here and be in confusion of what's going on. Because here's the thing. Getting good at dealing with women takes a long time. You have to go through a lot of bullshit, and you have to go through a lot of stupidity. I can't even get the fucking word out. Let me put it to you this way, right? Actual masculine shit will never be mainstream. It will never be mainstream. It's not gonna be the thing. You know how they like, okay, take someone like, let's say Lizzo, for example, right? With the body shaming shit, and you know, when they say things like a girl being fat, right? Let's just say, and I mean like the actual fat, not the fat that you motherfuckers believe you are, but I mean like an actual big girl, right? You can't realistically tell a motherfucker like that, like, hey, you're fat, you need to go to the gym, all right? They don't want nobody saying that type of message because it doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't make people feel better. You know what I mean? It's very hard to, like, how can I say it? Say very abrasive, real helpful shit without actually, you know, hurting people a little bit. Like, when you tell a motherfucker like, hey, your credit fucked up. You need to fix your fucking credit. You ain't got no money. You need to get your motherfucking money up and figure this shit out, right? They have this thing now where it's like you can't really be real with motherfuckers without it being like, you know, hurting people's feelings in the process. And the sad part about it is, to be real with a motherfucker, to help somebody for real, you have to actually be able to step on their toes a little bit. Like, think about it like this, right? You know that song Beyonce, To the Left? Like, imagine a dude singing that, right? If a man sung them type of lyrics, right? If a dude was like, I can have another you in a minute, that shit don't make motherfuckers feel good. Like, but when a woman sings it, it's empowering. It makes her feel strong. It's like, I don't gotta take shit from nobody. They'd rather have that message out there than to sit there and have a dude be like, look, I don't gotta take shit from none of you motherfuckers, right? Because here's the thing, you already being a man, you're already labeled as like being more powerful than the opposite sex. So they don't really want you like too strong, if that makes sense. Because here's the thing, it's one thing to be a man. It's another thing to be a man with standards, right? Once you have standards, motherfuckers either have to submit or get the fuck around you. Because here's the thing about being a man with some type of standard in your life, right? When you're a guy and you're already deemed stronger, plus you have a standard, it's like, okay, motherfuckers gotta get their shit together to fuck with you. Meaning, like, you can't be some old ain't shit bitch and then come around a millionaire and then think it's gonna be like all gravy. Like, a nigga gonna just let you slide with not even necessarily a millionaire, but a guy who has a backbone. You cannot be a bad person or a shitty female or be on dumb shit and then think you're gonna be able to keep a nigga that has some type of standards with himself. And they don't. The majority of the masses, like the mainstream, don't want niggas thinking like that. Because here's the thing, right? Girls want to feel better. They don't want to be better. Being better takes work. Like, motherfuckers would rather come around you and have you enamored with them, meaning like the guy is so attracted to the female that she don't got to do shit. But the sad part about that is that most girls are not attracted to niggas like that. If you're a woman watching this, have you ever had a dude up your ass to the point where you couldn't halfway take a piss or take a shit or go to the store without him blowing up your phone and worried about you gonna cheat on him, right? Y'all like being the motherfucker that's in control, but you're not necessarily attracted to it either. That's the fucked up part about it. Like, you'd rather have a dude that's a little bit better than you, whether you admit to it or not. You don't want a dude put it this way, right? Women don't date men that are smaller than them, meaning like y'all are not attracted to men that are shorter than you. Like if you're 5'11", you want a dude that's 6'2", and even if you're 5'5", you want a dude that's 6'3". But it don't even have to be necessarily be 6 foot. But at the same, it's got to be one of those things where it's like you're taller, you're bigger, you're stronger. Like no woman really wants to date a weak man. But here's the thing. The fucked up part about that is they put this image out there where they want men to kind of be like subservient to women low key, where it's like, oh, I'm a queen and you're just a peasant. You know what I mean? What queen is gonna really marry the peasant? No, the queen marries the king. Like, some of that shit is just simple logic. Because here's the thing, right? The only reason why y'all get, women run circles around y'all a lot is that y'all want to fuck so bad that you're willing to take anything, right? You're willing to put up with anything. You're willing to deal with anything, right? You're willing to just... A girl, you can go on a date with a motherfucker and a motherfucker be like, oh, I need my rent paid today. Like, and you'll pay her rent because you want to fuck so bad. Now, when you get on the other side of the coin where it's like you get to the point where your dick don't make decisions and you make decisions based on, what's practical and what works for you as a man, you stop dealing with shit like that. You stop going through all the bullshit. You start going through all the nonsense. You stop dealing with the fuck shit. And you realize that, one, a motherfucker can't whoop your ass. Two, I'm a motherfucking man, so you can't make me do shit. Or three, I'm not finna bow down to you, or I don't have to help you. Like, you dealing with me is somewhat of a privilege. I mean, like a man that has his shit together. Like, because what society tries to tell motherfuckers is like, oh, well, she's special. And you should be happy to have her. And, you're nothing without her. When it's really the other way around a lot of times. But again, the demonetization of Fresh and Fit, the only reason why they got demonetized is they got a little too big with their matches. They was having girls fight in the studio and all type of shit. They was chewing girls out, kicking girls out. And that type of shit is not popular content. Like, it's not... The average woman doesn't want to see another woman get berated like that. Meaning, like, she starts saying some stupid shit. You check her on the stupid shit that she said, or whatever the case may be, right? Or when she gets loud, them niggas kick her ass out the studio. Now, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Fresh and Fit either, but at the same time, I do respect men that stand for something, right? And the problem with that is, a lot of times, they don't want that message getting out there for men to stand for something, stand behind something, plant their feet, work on themselves. They want niggas being stupid, because that's the only way they, motherfuckers can get resources out of you is if you're a fucking idiot. But again, I'm glad to be back on YouTube. Not back on YouTube, but I'm glad to be able to put out another video. I've just been busy as fuck, so I haven't had time to get around to it. But y'all have a good day.